What's up, fragrance lovers? Today we're talking about the top 10 most unique designer fragrances for men and for women, and I'm pretty convinced that this is by far the best video on unique designer fragrances on YouTube. Over this 1 year period of doing YouTube, I haven't even once made a claim like that, so I'm pretty convinced that this is really the best video you can watch when it comes to unique designer fragrances. We will be starting off this list with the least unique fragrance, and from there on we're taking big steps with the most unique fragrance in the designer area you can get your hands on. And on top of that, I even got honorable mentions in here, so there's a lot of stuff for you and probably at least one fragrance which you want to get. Place number 10 is going to be Prada Luna Rosa Black. A great, warm and comforting fragrance. The main players in here are amber and tonka with a powdery vibe. There's nothing sharp about this fragrance. Very soft, very comforting. Towards the dry down, it gets even warmer. Such a great smell for everyday wear, but also especially a little bit upscaled, maybe in a suit or something like that. Place number 9 is going to be another men's fragrance, and that is YSL Crew Wars. Such a beast. This fragrance is one of the strongest fragrances I have smelled, period. It's as strong as fuck. This is a very classic men's fragrance. Some say that it smells like piss, and I honestly don't think it smells like that, but you should very well be aware of the fact that some people might associate it with something like that when you buy it, but this fragrance is just, the performance is nuclear. The projection is, I don't know, like you can smell it in another city. The longevity, month, if not years. I mean, not that much, but it lasts forever. So if you want to get a strong classic men's fragrance, then you might want to get your hands on YSL Crew Wars. Fragrance number 8 is going to be the first woman's fragrance, and that is Marc Jacobs Decadence. This was love on first sniff. This is such a beautiful plum fragrance. You don't smell plum fragrances all that often, and it also got a very pleasant amount of sweetness to it. Such a beautiful everyday fragrance. You can work it in any kind of situation, and with this fragrance in particular, it strikes a very nice balance between being playful and being strict. So you can also very well wear it if you're a businesswoman and you're having a meeting, because it doesn't come off as being too strict, not too playful. It really strikes a nice balance. I highly recommend Marc Jacobs Decadence for all you women out there. Fragrance number 7 is going to be a men's fragrance, and that is Guerlain Ideal Man. The main players in this fragrance are vanilla, cherry and almond. Very unique combination of these notes. And although it got cherry in there, which not a lot of men's fragrances have, it still is masculine. And for me personally, each time I smell almond in a fragrance, it smells so out of this world. It's so hard to describe. It's so unidentifiable, very intriguing note. And with the combination of these 3 notes, this fragrance got a sweet and gourmand vibe to it. I really recommend that you try out the fragrance first at a store or something like that before you purchase it, because I smell major differences depending on the person who wore this fragrance. For example, on my skin, it doesn't work at all. I can't purchase this fragrance, but maybe for you it works on your skin type and you can rock it then. Good for you. Fragrance number 6 is a men's fragrance, and that is Encore Noir by Lalique. This really isn't a fragrance to get your mood up or to get compliments. It has a gothic vibe to it. It really smells like a wet forest, which makes sense because the main players in this fragrance are cypress, vetiver and cashmere wood. So a really woody fragrance. To me it smells like, yeah, really like a wet forest, or a fragrance John Wick could wear, because the movie's got a dark vibe to it. He's always wearing black, so it would really suit him. Plus on top of that, it's a very affordable, unique designer fragrance. It costs like 25 bucks. So if you want to get a cheap but unique fragrance, then you might want to get Lalique Encore Noir. Very, very mysterious and intriguing fragrance. Before we go over to the top 5 most unique fragrances you can get in the designer area, I want to give you some honorable mentions. And these are not particular fragrances, but rather a category, and these are fragrance dupes. When you get a clone or a dupe of a niche fragrance, this is then also pretty damn unique. But I thought it was kind of cheating if you just be like, oh yeah, this fragrance is pretty awesome, this is so unique. And yeah, it is unique because it's a clone of a niche fragrance. So if there's a niche fragrance which you're really interested in and which really intrigues you, then before you buy that niche fragrance, you might want to check out dupes of that fragrance. Alright people, now we're getting into it. The top 5. Fragrance number 5 is going to be a woman's fragrance, and that is Angel Mousse by Mikhail. This is such a beautiful chocolatey hazelnutty fragrance with patchouli in the background and also a little bit of vetiver. Such a beautiful scent which kind of gives me a Nutella vibe. So if you don't only like to taste Nutella but you also like to smell Nutella, then you might want to check out Angel Mousse by Mikhail. Very, very unique gourmand fragrance. And also, although it gets this chocolatey Nutella vibe to it, it is not too sweet, which is a great accomplishment. Fragrance number 4 is the first unisex fragrance, and that is By the Fireplace from the replica line of Maison Margiela. This fragrance really smells like the name of the fragrance. It smells like you're sitting by a fireplace, cooking some marshmallows. To me, it really smells like roasted, smoky chestnuts. Very warm, very comforting. Perfect. Absolutely perfect for the winter times. Oh my god, this is such an incredible job with the naming. Just before we go over the top 3 fragrances, I want to ask you to like this fragrance if you enjoyed this video so far, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, ring the little bell on there to grow this lovely fragrance community even a little bit more. And I would really like to see you as a viewer and subscriber on my next videos. And now let's go over to the top 3 fragrances. Fragrance number 3 is going to be a real rockstar fragrance, and I also made a video about it, why it actually is a rockstar fragrance. This fragrance is going to be Zadig and Voltaire. This is him. The main players in this fragrance are incense, vanilla and a very creamy sandalwood. This fragrance is really remarkable. It is very smoky and very dry, so dry that it is nearly powdery. Freaking incredible. But because of the vanilla, it got a nice amount of sweetness to it, and the creamy sandalwood, which comes out more and more during the lifetime of this fragrance, is so freaking addictive. Please, like, if you're interested in a very bold, very masculine fragrance, just try it out. It's really worth it giving it a shot, and right now it even is my signature scent, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, if you want to have an incredible, bold, manly fragrance, it's Zadig and Voltaire. This is him. Fragrance number 2 is going to be Moschino Tallboy. Very unique bottle, very unique name, and you guessed it, a very unique smell. It smells like a soapy rose with a fruity accord in the background, and for men it is not that common to really wear rose, so that makes this fragrance, in my opinion, also rather unisex, but to me it still leans a little bit masculine. And with this rose, it really doesn't feel outdated or something like that. It's a really nice modern rose. Alright, fragrance number 1, the most unique designer fragrance on this whole fucking planet. This is going to be Givenchy Pine. This fragrance is so unique that I can't even describe it to you. It's kind of like the number pi, it's unidentifiable. Almond is definitely the main player on this fragrance, and it also got a subtle amount of sweetness to it, but yeah, the smell is, like I said, really, at least to my nose, unidentifiable. If you want to have an experience which is kind of out of this world, then Givenchy pie is your fragrance to try out. But what you do have to keep in mind is that the longevity and the performance is not very good. So you might want to have a 50 ml bottle in your room just to remind you how unique fragrances can actually smell. This is the end of this little top 10 list. Definitely let me know if my claim wasn't too bold in saying that this is the best video on YouTube in terms of the most unique designer fragrances you can buy right now. I really do still believe it. If you liked it, then definitely give it a like, subscribe to my channel, ring the little bell down there, and I see you in the next one. Out.